friend of mine, we were talking about how I would do business cards and some things, and she said, you should put a byline of art through the mind's eye. And I loved it. When people see the original photo of something sometimes and then it ends up being abstract, you know, they would never have thought that this could become this. And I enjoy that. I mean, it's fun. I think it helped me see things in a different way. I was working with people who had severe mental illness and were down on their luck, and as mental illness can do to you. And, you know, I was used to people that did not have a fine life, but I was very captivated by it, you know, interested. I like overlooked objects, you know, things you would not think of that would be of interest. And I think, unfortunately, sometimes people with mental illness are that way, overlooked, you know, overlooked. Well, I just select things that intrigue me, and a lot of times it's an old vehicle. I've done old trucks, vintage fire truck, cars, that kind of thing. Or it's usually something from nature. What I'm really looking for is line and texture, because that provides interest in art. So I look at something that intrigues me because it has interesting line, dimension, whatever. The color may not be great at all, and it normally is not in many of the things I've done, but I've learned to use Photoshop to the extent that I can do what I'm currently doing, and learning new things as I go along. And I was amazed at how that transformed color. This piece here is an example. A lot of people think it looks like a cave. So if I had been back here, I'd be photographing the opening. But sometimes I'm photographing, obviously I had to have an opening here to photograph, but then there's decay that's made another opening at the other end. But I learn from my viewers all the time, because another recent revelation by a young man that was in the studio was that this part looks like a feather. Now, if there was a feather in that stump, I didn't know it. I can't explain it really. Maybe it's a feather, maybe it's striations of the wood, I really don't know. But it added an interest to me as well, because I had overlooked it. I think art should pull you in and give you enough interest that you don't get bored with it anytime soon. I like something that you can look at over and over and maybe see something different in it. I like for art to have a story behind it and be something you can relate to, not just mass-produced whatever. I get the fun as an artist of using my photographs for products that I would not try to learn to do myself. It just wouldn't work. You know, you can't do everything yourself. So it's a neat opportunity. I've just been doing that since end of January, and am doing some marketing on my own and wearing my own things. I was recently asked, haven't even started it yet, to work with the vintage portraits of someone who wants them altered to have a contemporary look but yet retain some of the history, kind of a dichotomy there. And I'm excited about that project. I've already played around a little bit with it, and so I hope more opportunities like that will come along. I went from painting, watercolor being my preference, to interest in photography, and took a couple little continuing ed classes, and then I got off into quilting for a very long time and morphed eventually more into the art quilts, fiber art, and that kind of thing, and began to pull the photography back into it with me as mixed media. I've never been without doing something that, you know, was some kind of creative expression. I climbed up into a dead tree, wasn't on the ground. I climbed up there. It had a big hole, and I was shooting down into it, and my cell phone rang. So I picked up my phone, and it was a printer person that I didn't want to miss their call. So I'm up here with this dead tree with my camera and talking on the phone. That tree has since crumbled to the ground, but it was fun. You know, what will you do to get a good photograph?